Catherine leaned her forehead against her car window after a long shift at work. A deep sigh escaped her as she began driving with an unmistakable, sullen expression on her face. As she continued driving, the edges of her mouth began to rise, and a sense of familiarity swam over her. This was a smile she had for too long gone without, a smile that was evoked by only one soul. He had come soaring back into her life, just as she had always dreamed, after happily walking into the restaurant she was working in. At that moment, she wasn't quite sure whether she wanted to laugh or cry. And yet, on this drive home, all that Catherine could do was recall all of the time she and Nate had shared. They had been so young and naive. He was older than her and going off to college to experience the world, but Catherine knew she gave up on him far too easily. She let him slip away. She had done her best to become contented with her life without Nate. She laughed through her attempts. What else could she do? Secretly, though, her heart ached and longed for the day he could be hers again. She could still remember the afternoons they would spend in the park next to his baseball field. They would laugh and talk for hours about their life and their futures. Catherine now felt tears swelling in her eyes and decided to pull her car over. Nate had become an impediment in her life, making it impossible to ever truly move on. She now knew that this was because she was never really supposed to move on. She didn't want to move on. As she continued to drive, flashbacks from her relationship kept popping into her head like photos on a screen. She needed to see him, tell him how she truly felt. She knew that she would regret it forever if she didn't. After changing at home, she would go to see him tonight. As she rounded the last corner toward her home, her heart skipped a beat, and Catherine found herself completely confounded. Standing in her front lawn, waiting for her, was Nate. While getting out of her car, Catherine closed her eyes and placed her hand to her mouth, trying to keep herself together. She walked towards Nate. 3 years later, and you're still on my mind, was all that Nate could say. Catherine choked back soft sobs while managing to say, "I miss you. I have missed you all along, and I don't know exactly why you came here tonight, but before you tell me, know this. I love you. I have always loved you and would like to keep on loving you if you will let..." But before she could finish, Nate had already scooped her up into his arms. Time stood still. Her heart was home.